Hello everyone, I want to start today with a simple yet powerful question. What does failure mean to you? For most of us, the word failure conjures up feelings of disappointment, shame, and regret. Something we fear, something we try to avoid at all costs. We have been conditioned, through school, work, and society, to believe that failure is a reflection of our inadequacy, that it is something to be hidden away and never spoken of. But what if I told you that failure is not something to fear, but something to embrace? What if I told you that failure is not the enemy, but a powerful ally on the road to success? Today I want to talk about how we can transform the way we view failure and use it as a stepping stone to greater achievements. Let's begin by understanding why we're so afraid of failure. From the time we're children, we're taught that success equals validation, and failure equals defeat. In school, we're taught that getting an A is good and getting an F is bad. We are praised for our successes and punished for our mistakes. This mindset follows us into adulthood. In the workplace, we're taught to avoid mistakes at all costs, to aim for perfection, and to always look like we have everything under control. This fear of failure is not inherent, it's learned. It's something we've been conditioned to believe, often without questioning. This fear can paralyze us. It can stop us from taking risks, trying new things, or pursuing our dreams. But we become so focused on avoiding failure that we forget the simple truth: failure is not a sign of weakness or incompetence. Failure is an inevitable part of growth. It is a sign that we are trying, that we are pushing our limits, and that we are learning. One of the most powerful ways to shift our perspective on failure is to view it not as an obstacle, but as a teacher. In every failure, there is a lesson to be learned. In every setback, there is an opportunity to improve. Take a moment to think about a time in your life when you experienced failure. Maybe it was a job you didn't get, a business venture that didn't work out, or a personal relationship that ended. At the time, it probably felt like the worst thing that could happen. But looking back, what did you learn from it? What did that experience teach you about yourself, about your goals, or about what you truly want in life? In hindsight, many of the failures we experience can feel like turning points, moments where we learn more about our strengths and weaknesses, where we redefined our goals, or where we discovered what really matters. Failure provides feedback. It shows us where we went wrong and gives us the information we need to try again, but with more knowledge and clarity. Think about the process of learning to walk. As babies, we fell countless times, but we didn't give up. After the first fall, or the 100th, we learn by falling, by picking ourselves up, and by trying again. That's how we learn to walk. And that's how we learn in every aspect of life. We fail, we learn, we try again. Failure is not a stop sign. It's a signal to adjust our approach. The reality is that some of the most successful people in history have failed countless times before achieving their goals. They didn't let failure stop them. Instead, they used it as a tool to refine their skills, to rethink their strategies, and to stay resilient in the face of adversity. Take Thomas Edison, for example. Edison is best known as the inventor of the light bulb, but what many people don't know is that he failed thousands of times before creating the first practical light bulb. It's said that Edison made over 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before finding the right combination of materials to make the light bulb work. Instead of getting discouraged by his failures, Edison saw them as essential steps in the process. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Edison's failure didn't mean he was a failure. It meant he was one step closer to success. Another great example comes from the world of sports. Michael Jordan, widely regarded as the greatest basketball player of all time, didn't make his high school basketball team. Imagine if he had accepted that as the final word on his basketball ability. But instead of letting that failure define him, he used it as motivation. Jordan worked relentlessly to improve his skills and went on to win 6 NBA championships, earning the title of the greatest of all time. Jordan once said, "I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. His failures were part of his journey, not the end of it. Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple, offers another compelling example of turning failure into success. Jobs was famously ousted from Apple, the company he created. It was a crushing blow, but rather than give up, he took the opportunity to reinvent himself. He went on to create Pixar, which became a massive success, and later returned to Apple, leading the company to revolutionary innovations like the iPhone, iPad, and iTunes. Jobs' story teaches us a valuable lesson. Sometimes failure isn't the end, it's the beginning of something greater. He didn't let being fired from Apple destroy his dreams. Instead, he used that failure to build a new vision, and in doing so, he changed the world. From a scientific perspective, failure also plays an important role in how we learn and grow. Neuroscientists have shown that our brains are wired to learn from mistakes. When we fail, our brains process that information, helping us to recognize what went wrong and what we can do differently in the future. In fact, failure can trigger neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize and form new neural connections. This means that every time we fail, we are actually strengthening our ability to adapt and improve. Failure, in essence, helps our brains become more flexible and capable of finding better solutions. One of the most important qualities needed to turn failure into success is resilience. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to remain hopeful and optimistic even when things aren't going well. It's the ability to keep going, even when faced with challenges. Resilience doesn't come naturally, it's built over time through experience. The more we fail and continue to push forward, the more resilient we become. Failure strengthens our emotional muscles, just as lifting weights strengthens our physical muscles. It's not enough to just fail, we must fail and keep going. We must refuse to let failure define us, refuse to let it keep us down. Instead, we must embrace failure as part of the process and use it to fuel our determination to succeed. Now that we understand the importance of failure and how it can be used as a stepping stone to success, let's talk about some practical steps we can take to embrace failure in our own lives. I start by shifting your mindset. Instead of viewing failure as something negative, begin to see it as an opportunity for growth. Every failure is a lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I improve next time? Success isn't just about the outcome, it's about the effort you put in. Celebrate the fact that you tried, that you showed up, and that you gave it your best. Effort is the true measure of success, and failure is just a part of the process. When you fail, don't let it discourage you. Develop resilience by learning how to pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going. Remind yourself that success is built on persistence, not perfection. Every failure holds valuable information. Make time to reflect on what went wrong, why it happened, and what you can do differently next time. The key is to learn, adapt, and adjust your approach. Don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. Take risks, make mistakes, and fail forward. The more risks you take, the more you will learn, and the closer you will get to your goals. Failure is not something to fear. It is not a reflection of who you are or what you're capable of. Failure is a part of the journey, a necessary part of the journey that will guide you towards success. It provides the lessons, the feedback, and the resilience you need to achieve greatness.